If I'm on your FYP, congratulations. I'm your new tia. I'm fixing to show you how to make some of the creamiest chicken empanadas that you're ever gonna eat. These are my credentials. So grab your Pendeja Beater 12,000, hit that follow button, and come on, let's go. All right, my loves, this one's gonna have a lot of steps to it. Get a big ass pot and start heating that up. While that's heating up, add in some water. To this, I'm gonna add about 8 pounds of chicken thighs. Yes, 8 pounds, because I'm gonna use some of this chicken for another meal later on this week. I'm also gonna be using some of this chicken stock that we're making for another meal later on this week. So I'm cooking a lot. You don't have to make this much. Adjust the recipe to your family's needs. Oh, and I cleaned and washed my chicken. I took off the fat and I took off the skin. If you don't want to wash your meat, don't wash it. You're gonna get some famunda cheese in there. That's on you. While this is coming up to a boil, I'm gonna add in 1 whole onion that I've cut in half. Then I'm gonna add in 1 whole head of garlic. I went ahead and cut the ass end off of that. And then I took off all the extra husk that was around it. Throw that in there too. I'm gonna add in a little bit of pepper, about 1 tablespoon. Then I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of nor caldo de pollo, or chicken bouillon. You can use whatever kind you like. This is what I'm using. Then give this a quick mix as best you can and let it come up to a boil. Lastly, we're gonna add in 3 bay leaves. While our chicken's coming up to a boil, we're gonna get started on the dough for our empanadas. We're gonna get 2 birds stoned at once, and I'm gonna make this like I would make my tortillas, only I'm using butter instead of manteca. 4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. Give that a quick mix. I'm only gonna use half of this for the empanadas. The other half I'm gonna make 12 tortillas so that way we can use later on during the week. Gotta think ahead. For this recipe, I am gonna change it up just a little bit. Instead of half a cup of butter, I'm using 2/3 cup of butter. Why? Because I really like that butter flavor, so I'm adding a little bit more. 2/3 cup of butter. Then just incorporate this until it gets crumbly, almost a sandy-like texture. Add your water. Throw your harina inside of your water. Give it a couple squeezes. And just keep working it. It'll come together eventually. Pay attention to your chicken. And just like when you're making tortillas, knead your dough for about 7 to 10 minutes. After about 10 minutes of kneading, form it into a ball and then put it in your bowl. Then cover it with plastic wrap and just let that rest for about 20 minutes. After you've made your masa and your chicken is still boiling, go ahead and slice up 1 onion, 2 bell peppers. I'm using 1 green and 1 red. And 1 jalapeño. After your chicken has cooked, go ahead and skim off any impurities that are floating on the top. Once your chicken is done cooking, go ahead and pull it out and put it in a bowl. Now remember, we are gonna use this chicken stock for another recipe, so do not get rid of it. Start deboning your chicken. You wanna debone it while it's still hot because it makes it a whole lot easier. After that was shredded, we were left with 3 pounds and 3 ounces of chicken, which is perfect. So I'm gonna use 1.5 pounds for each recipe. The other recipe is going to be posted later this week. Get your Pendeja Beater 12,000 and start heating it up. Add in about 2 tablespoons of oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you like. After that's hot, add in all of your peppers and your onion. Let that saute until your vegetables are soft. They should look something like this. Then add in 1.5 pounds of that chicken that we just shredded up. Add about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Add about 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Add about 1 teaspoon of chili powder, about 2 teaspoons of ground comino or ground cumin. You want about 1 teaspoon of oregano. I'm using Mexican oregano. And then about 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Then just give this a mix. Now, if you notice a fond start to form at the bottom of your pan, go ahead and add in some of that chicken stock that we had left over. That was about 1/4 cup. Add more if you need more. Once that fond has been released, turn your heat off. We're gonna add in 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese. Yes, cream cheese. Is this traditional? No. Is it good? Yes. Then just mix that around and allow it to melt fully. This is what your chicken should look like after everything's well combined. Now just move that to the back and we're gonna get started on the dough for our empanadas. Get your Pendeja Beater 10,000 and start heating that up. Then add in enough oil to where it covers the bottom. You want it to be about 1/4 inch deep. While your oil's coming up to temperature, roll out your masa into testales. If you don't know how to do this, go watch my pinned video on how to make tortillas. We're not rolling out huge tortillas. We want small street taco size, about like that. Once you've got it rolled out, get a little bit of your chicken, add that to it. Then get just a pinch of Oaxaca cheese and lay that on top. After you've added your cheese, go ahead and roll this over and close it up. Push down on your sides, and I like to roll my sides over one more time, just to make sure that it's secure. If you want these to have a pretty edge, go over it with the fork. I'm gonna make a couple more of these and then we're gonna put them in our oil. After you've gotten a few empanadas done, go ahead and put these in your oil. You wanna do this very carefully and very gently. You don't wanna tear the outside of your empanada. Let those cook for about 30 seconds on one side and then give them a flip. Once you've flipped them, let them cook for another 30 seconds. Once those are done, pull them out and let the excess oil drain. This is what they should look like. Just set those on a plate that's been lined with paper towels. Look what I made! It's empanadas. All right, let's break them open. Listen. Look at that cheese pull. Yum. All right, let's take a bite. Whoa, we gotta blow on it first.
That's what she said.
Theo's over here recording me and he's giving me the look. Let's take a bite. No words. If you try this recipe, let me know. I'm fixing to go eat.